And now on to a very special broadcast that we are holding on NewsX. Tibet and its people have been fighting a battle of their identity, their territory and their rights for decades together now. 60 years after the dragon took away the land of the peaceful Tibetans, it carries on with its cartographic aggression along the LAC, with the latest transgression along the Galwan Valley. And then the Chinese leader Zhao Medong stated very categorically back in the day that Tibet is the palm of China and Bhutan, Sikkim, Arunachal, Nepal and Ladakh are its 5 fingers. It is time now to dispel this falsehood. It's time to stand with everything that is fair, just and right. Today, I have the voices of Tibet on my show. Tibet, which is the land of the lamas, of heritage and culture that is unique across the world. They are fighting for their cause, their freedom for far too long now. Let's hear their tales, their voices, their struggle and their fortitude stories only on NewsX. In fact, my first guest that I would like to introduce on the show would be Sudon Aktun Sang, who's the MP, Central Tibet Administration, and she has been for far too long striving for the rights of the Tibetans and has been fighting for the youth of Tibet and human rights as well. Welcome on the show. And my first question to you, of course, is going to be, in wake of the latest transgression, the aggression that has been shown by China along the LAC, how does this impact Tibet personally?
Well, as a Tibetan born and living in India, I've been really following this news of Chinese aggression and bullying tactic on the Indian border in Ladakh with a lot of concern. You know, China is really trying to change the realities on the ground by stationing military 60 kilometers into Indian territories, the same tactic that they're using in the South China Sea as well. So this is not the first time that China has encroached the Indian soil, and this will not be the last time also. Lasting solution to this frequent border aggression from China would only be solved if you reinstate Tibet as a buffer zone. And that will happen only if there is with the resolution of Tibet issue. I think that is something that we need to look into, and India must support dialogue between the Tibetan representatives and the Chinese counterpart. And with this, we can have a peaceful border, and India can then look for a lasting peaceful solution to the border.
Right, Yudong, but also tell me about the fact that is going ahead and fighting for free Tibet and finally getting the rights of the Tibetan peoples and the land of the Tibetan people going to finally resolve this LAC, very, very strategic point over here between India and China.
Yeah, I said this already. See, my main stress that I was giving in my, as I spoke earlier, is that Tibet was traditionally a buffer zone between India and China. And it's only after Chinese illegal occupation of Tibet that India has been facing this over the last many years, India has been facing a lot of border tension. So once we have a resolution to the Tibet problem, Tibet will be back as a buffer zone, and then you will not have this problem that we are facing every year. Yeah.
And obviously China has been going ahead with its expansionist adventurism, be it Hong Kong, be it Taiwan, and Tibet, it happened 60 years ago. History is repeating itself. If you go about reading Mao's statements back in the day, in the 1990s, he had gone about saying that it is in fact the point of the palm being Tibet and the rest of the 5 fingers being Bhutan and Sikkim and Arunachal and Nepal, and it's slowly actually bringing about its strategies, nibbling away into Indian land, nibbling away into Nepalese land by its economic strategies, by the CPEC. How exactly do you stand when it comes to the Chinese One China policy?
Well, as a Tibetan member of parliament, we have at the moment a middle way approach policy, which means that we are now, in a situation where we are trying to find a mutually beneficial solution to the situation